You are not who you were born to be. You are who you learn how to be to survive. And that's why you're so tired, because you're still living in survival mode, repeating the same emotional loops even when nothing is actually wrong. So let me ask you something, sis. Who would you be if no one ever corrected your tone, your laugh, your emotions, your dreams? If no one had ever told you to quiet down, to be less sensitive, to stop wanting so much, to be easier to deal with so other people wouldn't feel uncomfortable? Most women don't realize this, but we've been wearing masks our entire lives. Invisible versions of ourselves we created to stay safe, accepted, and loved. And when you start healing, those masks begin to crack. That discomfort you feel, that restlessness you can't explain, that's not you falling apart. That's your nervous system realizing it doesn't have to survive like this anymore. That's the real you starting to breathe again. From the time we were little girls, the conditioning begins. Not how to be true, but how to be acceptable. Culture teaches it, parents demand it, religion reinforces it, school systems reward it, politics normalize it, all feeding us the same quiet message. Be good, be quiet, be helpful, be pretty, be agreeable. We're taught, both directly and indirectly, that our value lives in what we give, not in who we are. Be a caretaker, be a mother, be nurturing but never needy, be polite, not powerful, be visible but never disruptive, be selfless even when it costs you your own voice, be submissive, which really meant obedient, agreeable, and easy to manage. So we adapt. We learn which parts of us are safe to show and which ones need to be hidden away. We build masks. The good girl who never causes trouble, the strong one who never asks for help, the perfectionist who never rests, the peacemaker who swallows her truth, the achiever who keeps going even when her body is begging her to stop. Each mask becomes another layer between us and our essence. And our essence is the real, unedited version of us. And while those identities helped us survive in a world that rewards performance and compliance, they didn't take us from ourselves all at once. They taught us to leave slowly, silently, until survival felt normal and being fully ourselves felt dangerous. And what most people never stop to question is the version of you that introduces itself. Your job, your roles, your achievements, your labels is not who you are. Those are the roles you learn to play to survive, to belong, and to succeed in this world. But beneath every role is something deeper. Your essence. Your essence is who you are when no one is watching, when you're not trying to impress, when you're not trying to prove, perform, or please. It's your natural joy, your truth, your softness, your power, your creativity, your way of loving and moving through life. Your essence is what you are. And when you confuse the two, you start shrinking to fit the role. You become afraid to outgrow what you've built, even when it no longer feels alive, true, or aligned. You start editing yourself to match the version of you that gets approval, that gets praised, that gets rewarded. And that's how exhaustion is created. Because your soul is trying to expand while your identity is trying to stay safe. Your soul didn't come here to perform. It came here to experience, to express, to remember wholeness, and to fulfill your life's purpose by giving something of service to this world. And when you remember that, you stop working for love and start living from it. As your frequency rises, anything false becomes heavy. That's why you get restless, why certain jobs, relationships, or even versions of yourself start to feel tight, draining, or almost even unbearable. Burnout is the symptom, misalignment is the cause. Your energy is no longer willing to carry what isn't true. It's craving coherence, the moment when your inner truth and your outer life finally match. I call this frequency integrity. When your words start matching your choices and your choices reflect what you actually value, your energy comes back into alignment with your soul. And that's when things begin to open. Ease comes back. Love flows without effort. Abundance stops feeling forced and starts feeling natural. Because life isn't responding to how hard you try or how well you perform. It mirrors authenticity. Taking off the masks doesn't mean rejecting your responsibilities. It means meeting them as yourself and not the version of you that learned how to cope, comply, or perform. That is the difference between living from obligation and living from embodiment. One is heavy, the other is magnetic. So this week, I invite you to start paying attention to the moments you shrink, not with judgment, but with honesty and awareness. Notice when you downplay your success so others don't feel threatened. When you soften your truth just to keep the peace. When you say yes while your body is screaming to you no. When you define yourself by what you produce, what you give, what you carry, instead of who you are. Those moments matter. They're not some small happenstance moments. They're signals, your body and soul trying to get your attention. Each time you catch one, pause, take one slow breath, and let your body feel the truth of it. And gently remind yourself, it is safe to be me right now. Because every time you choose truth over performance, your system recalibrates. You stop chasing approval. You stop scanning for permission. You stop adjusting yourself to fit the room. And you start radiating authenticity. That frequency doesn't need convincing. It doesn't need explaining. It's felt. And that vibration, it's irresistible. Freedom isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you were before the world taught you how to disappear. You are not your mask. You are not your title. You are not your role. You are a divine being having a human experience. Source expressing itself through the feminine form. So take off the masks, beautiful soul. Let your essence breathe. You were not born to fit in. You were born to remind the world what truth feels like. And if something in you recognizes itself today, let it be seen. And drop a comment, I am remembering who I am. Because naming it anchors it. And if you know a woman who's tired of performing, tired of shrinking, tired of surviving instead of living, share this with her. Because when one woman takes off her mask, she doesn't just free herself. She gives other women permission to do the same. And that's how remembrance spreads. And if you're ready to master this on a deeper level, I created a free ebook that teaches the 10 codes of frequency framework, designed to help you align your energy with a new identity of receiving with ease. Inside, you'll find powerful activations, embodiment exercises, and access to a free masterclass to support real integration, not just understanding. The link is below. Go grab it and start reading. And I'll see you next week.